Here's what you need to be able to complete this job. 4 quarts or 4 liters of ATF DW1. 1 quart or 1 liter of SAE ATW90 Hypoid Gear Oil. New draining and filler bolts sealing washers. Part numbers in the description. A 3/8 inch ratchet. A 1/2 inch ratchet. Various extensions for the ratchet or breaker bar. A plastic clip removal tool or a flathead screwdriver. 17mm socket for the ATF filler bolt. 10mm socket or wrench for the transmission plastic cover bolts. An oil drain tub. Funnel, long neck preferred. Hand pump. Lots of shop towels. Brake cleaner. For convenience, you might also need or just want to use. A 1/2 inch breaker bar to break the filler and drain bolts loose. A 1/2 inch to 3/8 inch adapter. Torque wrench if you want to properly torque your fasteners. Ramps to raise your vehicle enough to gain easy access to the ATF and transfer case drain bolts. Wheel chocks. A creeper. Affiliate links to everything I've used or recommend are in the description. Alright, let's get to it. I recommend trying to remove the ATF filler bolt first to make sure you will be able to add the new ATF after draining the old one. Here's the bolt. Use 17mm bolt and 1/2 inch extension with either a ratchet or a breaker bar. Now let's remove the transmission plastic undercover. There are 3 plastic clips, 2 of them here and here. There are also 3 10mm bolts, 1 here, then the 3rd plastic clip here, and 2 remaining 10mm bolts here and here. Now warm up your engine. From cold start, the radiator fan comes on once and shut it off. Here's the transmission drain. You need a 3/8 inch ratchet without any socket to remove it. I'm using a 1/2 inch ratchet with a 3/8 adapter for better leverage. Position an oil drain tub under it at an angle that will allow to accommodate for the fluid pouring at a higher pressure at first. While the fluid is draining, clear the magnet at the end of the bolt that gathers metal shavings from the transmission and prevents particles recirculating it. Now that the fluid is out, put the bolt back and don't forget to use the new sealing washer. Now just to be on the safe side, I'm going to look up the drain plug torque spec using a shop manual I bought online at eManual for about 30 bucks. I'm gonna leave a link in the description. It's a really handy resource for specs like these and many other things, including procedures, tools needed, tips and tricks, and so on. In this case, it's automatic transmission, doesn't matter which one. Torque it down to 36 pound-feet or 49 Nm. Done! Clean up the excess of the fluid on the surface. Time to remove the filler bolt and insert the long neck funnel and pour the new ATF into the funnel. One, 2, 3, and 4. You'll only need about 3.78 liters of fluid. Since these are 1 liter bottles, I left out some fluid in the 4th one. Now let's reinstall the fill bolt loosely Warm up the engine. Shut it off and measure the level within 1 minute. It's very difficult to show on video, but I assure you it's right in the middle between minimum and maximum. Remember, it's easier to add more fluid than to drain the excess, so try not overfilling it. In the event if after you put everything back together and torque the bolts, the ATF level is below the lower mark on the dipstick, you can use the dipstick guide tube opening and add more fluid to adjust the level between the marks as required by the manufacturer. Let's torque the filler bolt to 33 pound-feet or 44 Newton-meters. Done! Now onto the transfer case oil. Break the filler bolt loose first to make sure you will be able to add the new oil after draining the old one. Here's the bolt. I'm using a 1/2 inch ratchet with a 3/8 adapter for better leverage. Got it! Now remove the drain bolt. Same approach here. I will now remove the fill bolt for easier draining. Oops! As you can see, it was a bit overfilled, since the last time I did it on ramps, so it wasn't level. It's a vertical drain, so position an oil drain tub directly under it and remove the bolt. There's not a lot of oil. When the oil is drained, leave the bolts out, and since the oil is sold in 1-liter bottles, you have an excess to wash the transfer case with a little bit. I'm using a simple bottle hand pump. Pump a little bit of oil through the filler hole. You can see that the passing oil has the same color and is as clear as the new oil that goes in. Now put the drain bolt back and don't forget to use a new sealing washer. Clean up the excess of the oil on the surface. Tighten the drain bolt a bit. Time to add new gear oil. You don't need to measure the exact amount, as any extra oil will simply drain out of the filler hole. Keep pumping the oil until it starts to overflow. When it does, remove the hose and wait for the excess to drain. You can now put the filler bolt in with a new sealing washer. Torque down the drain and filler bolts to 33 pound-feet or 44 Newton-meters. Like so. Don't forget to reinstall the transmission undercover and be sure to dispose of your used fluids responsibly. Time to reset the maintenance minder. In order to do that, you need to switch the ignition to the second position. When you see the maintenance message displayed, press Info button on the steering wheel to cancel it. Then press Select Reset button until you see the oil life indicator. Now press and hold the Select Reset button for about 10 seconds until a reset menu is displayed. Here you'll be able to reset the oil life and maintenance code by pressing Select Reset button once. When reset, the oil life indicator should show 100%. That's it. If this was helpful, rate the video, leave your comments below and hit that subscribe and bell buttons for more videos just like this. Thank you for watching. Drive safe, use your turn signals, and remember, anything is possible with the right tools and motivation. See you next time.